Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is Thankful Thursday, August 31st. We are at the end of August, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. Our very special guest today is a music artist. He's an actor and he's a model, and he is fine. And when I say fine with a capital F, he is fine. So without further ado, let's welcome our very special guest, Gary Anthony Stennette. All right? I hope you guys all are doing wonderful as I am today. Happy Thankful Thursday. I hope you guys all are doing awesome out there. Tomorrow joining me, we have Marcos Luis. So make sure you guys tune in for that as well, too. Hi, CCN. Hi, everyone. Let me go ahead and send this live on over to Gary so that we can get this interview started. All right. It's been a great week. The road to 500 will continue, my loves. I'm super excited. We are now at 498 interviews. And by next week, we should hit 500. So I'm excited. Thank you guys for your unconditional love and support. So without further ado, let's welcome our incredibly talented, handsome, sexy, fine, again, very special guest, Gary Anthony Stennette, who joins us from Spain.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to the dollhouse, handsome. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing good. Very good, actually.
It's such a pleasure to have you here. You're all the way in Spain. You're joining us all the way in
I
Spain.
am actually 10 o'clock at night over here, so getting kind of close to bedtime.
So before we get into this interview, how has 2023 been for you so far?
2023.
Yes.
It's been filled with blessings, of course. A lot of reflection, lots of reflection, and it's been good. I really can't complain, to be honest with you.
So let's start on your journey. Let's start from the beginning. You were born in Panama City, Panama, and you was raised in Los Angeles. So
Correction.
tell
So,
us a little bit about that growing up.
well, I was born in Colon, not Panama City, and I was there till I was about 5 years old, 6 years old, and my family migrated via Miami for a few months, and then New York for a bit, and then off to Los Angeles, and a culture shock, of course, because I'm coming from a small town, a very small town in Panama, to United States. Now I'm 6 years old, mind you, so I don't really know really what's going on. Um, of course, we always spoke English. The background is Caribbean, from like the Antilles, whether it's French or in this case it was like Barbados, so it was English speaking. So we've always spoken English in the house, but we also knew how to speak Spanish because that was what was around you. So I've always had Spanish in the family. Afro Latino. Okay.
Well, dazzle us with some of your Spanish, Mr. French.
No, no French. I've tried the French and it just doesn't seem to work. So Spanish has been what has gotten me by. Of course, LA, there's a lot of Latinos, a lot of Mexicans, and so yeah, it fared out pretty well.
And you have younger siblings
I
too.
No,
So
I'm the
how many?
youngest one.
Okay, you the youngest
I'm the
one?
youngest of four. Yes.
Okay. So how many brothers and sisters?
The eldest is my brother, and then after that, I have two sisters. So it's two
Okay.
boys, two girls.
So did you always knew that acting would be a passion of yours? Because you're not only an actor, you're an artist as well too. So tell us a little bit about
To be
that.
honest with you, no, I did not know that acting was going to be a passion. Of course, I am a musician. I'm a percussionist, a drummer, Latin percussionist, and I went to a performing arts high school in LA, Hamilton High School, Academy of Music, and I was in the music program. But this school was kind of like, if you remember Fame, this is what everybody thought
Yep.
when we were going in. We were like, oh, it was the first year that they started this program, and we thought it was going to be fame and dancing through the hallways, and it was not. Okay, it was a real, you know, academics was what it was all about. Of course, the music program that was created behind it was a rich music program. Okay, but of course, they also had the arts of the drama. They had drama. They had dance. They had everything that had to deal with the arts. It was a beautiful program actually, and I was always interested in the drama department, but I kind of shied away from it. If I'm going to do something, I'm just going to put my whole focus into music, and that went well. Of course, from ninth grade to 12th grade, you start changing likes. No, sports became a thing. I was always in sports. I played baseball when I was young. So sports has always been in the family. My dad was a semi-professional baseball player in Panama. So this was always, of course, a part of me. So I kind of started shying away a bit from music and started, looking at sports. So I played football, I ran track, I played baseball, but the baseball didn't go too well because I got hit in the mouth with the ball, and I was like, that was it. The field was kind of we didn't have the best field in my high school, So once that I hit in the mouth with the ball, I was like, oh, that's enough. So I just stayed playing football and in the music program, and just kind of just took it from there. But drama was definitely not. It was not a passion. Let's just say this: everybody that was around me growing up in LA, especially in the music program, they're all actors, some well-known actors, and it was just the thing that they did. It was just what was around us, actors, musicians. Some musicians now that are, playing with Paul McCartney or work with Janet Jackson or work with Dr. Dre. These are very, very skilled talent that was around us at Hamilton.
Now, you began taking acting classes at the age of 14, am I
Yes,
correct?
that is correct. Uh, Corey Feldman's dad had a little acting school type thing in Hollywood. And my dad used to take me every Saturday. I didn't know what I was doing really. I didn't know anything about acting besides the fact that I just saw it on television, and I watched Different Strokes, and I watched all these people doing this thing that just looked so easy. But I'm the type of person, when I'm interested in something, I'm gonna go and do it. And so I started taking acting classes at 14, and carry through, of course.
Yes, and then afterwards, you enlisted in the Navy. Our guest that we had on Tuesday, Graham Sean Weatherspoon, is a Navy vet.
Right.
So what was that experience like for you too?
The Navy was it was very interesting in the sense that all throughout from ninth grade to 12th grade, I knew I was going to the Navy. Okay, so it was interesting for me because I made something actually happen. I made this come true. I made this actually happen. Of course, watching the movie Top Gun, that inspiration. When I went in the Navy, I did exactly what I saw on the film Top Gun. It was aviation. I wasn't a carrier, aircraft carrier. I was out the Persian Gulf. The flight deck was everything that I saw in the movie. So I was living out this movie. It's kind of like art imitating life, and my influences, as most kids, influences are through films. So the Navy was it. That was what I was going to do. I was even thinking about being a career, military person. But the experience overall, it was great. It was a great experience.
Yes, that was going to be my next question for you. Like, who's some of your inspiration growing up actor-wise?
After,
Actor-wise.
wow. Well, this when I was young, I used to watch a lot of the golden era of Hollywood films with my mom. My whole acting, anything that had to do with films came from my mom. I used to just sit down and watch television with her. I used to like James Cagney. He was always like a little gangster, always a little ruffian. Um, of course, everyone would say Denzel, but I watched Denzel when he was, in the '80s when he was on the series. And as I started getting into high school, I started paying attention to like Robert De Niro. Of course, gangster films has always been a big deal. Uh, you know, growing up how with friends that I grew up or growing up how I grew up in LA. I think throughout the United States, gangster films has always been, it's kind of a big thing. So I paid a lot of attention to Al Pacino. I paid attention to Robert De Niro more than anybody else, though. I paid attention to Robert De Niro, everything, every move, you know, every just his whole style, his whole walk. This was actually this was it for me. I was like, okay, I want to be a gangster now. I want to be a gangster now. But yeah, I mean, there's so many. That's the thing. When people ask specifics, it's just so hard to pinpoint one. But one that really grabbed me was Robert De Niro.
What is your favorite role to typically go for? Because I know that in Hollywood,
Yeah,
black actors, they typically tend to get typecasted. And what are some of your favorite roles that you typically go for? Because I know that being an actor, you have to step outside of your boundaries and out of your comfort zone to do roles that are.
that's the thing. As an actor, I don't like to get pigeonholed into anything. I can't say that I like just one specific thing because every different role that you're doing is you're exploring something different with characters, with humanity. I can't say I like to be a doctor. No, I'm not a doctor. No, I like to be a police officer. No, I actually no. It doesn't matter. Whatever character it is that you are taking on. Um, it's I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, you watch, you do your homework, you do your research and whatnot. But there's nothing specific. It's just about the character. It doesn't have anything to do. I mean, growing up, of course, in Hollywood, like you said, a lot of stuff. I used to work with guns all the time. I remember when I first started acting, it was always a gun. I always had a gun in my hand. I was either holding up a bank. I was either dealing drugs. I was a drug dealer on the beach. So there was always a gun in my hand. And that's where that typecasting. That's why I got scared. I was like, oh no, I don't feel like being typecast because there's so much more within my mind, within my heart that I could do more than just you know dealing
That
dope and shooting guns. Yeah, of course.
so what steps do you take to ensure that your performance is believable and consistent as an actor?
Um, I think understanding everything, character breakdown. Understanding everything that I mean, everything you learn in acting school. You learn everything in acting school as far as character breakdown, what the character wants, what he's looking for, the backstory to the character. You definitely have to study. You have to. I don't know, just kind of have you seen these people in real life? Have you seen a lot of different characters like this on film as well? And I think just study more than anything else. Just study, 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 study.
What techniques do you use to stay in character? Because I know sometimes it's difficult for a lot of actors because some of the roles where you feel yourself getting too deep into it, which we'll talk about throughout this interview, where they're going for a role and sometimes it's like, I need to tap back. I'm no longer this character. I'm Gary. I'm no longer the character. So what techniques do you use to stay in character?
Uh, to stay in character, I mean, once pictures goes up, it's real. To me, it's real. There's always a bit of Gary in everything, mannerisms or what have you in these characters. Always gonna be a bit of me in there. But everything is real. Whether I'm grabbing you or whether I'm. I mean, sometimes you can get carried away, of course, but it's always real. To me, it's always real. And that's basically how I just stay in that character. Once it's a cut, you think back to, okay, well, what was happening in that real situation, or what small things that I missed or what have you. But it's always real to me. That's how I stay in there.
Has that ever happened to you when you're working with the scene partner where it's just like, wait, I wasn't expecting that. Like,
I
have
mean,
you ever sort of had to, yeah.
you probably laugh about it after the take. Um, Nothing's ever really been in where someone's offended. Normally you laugh. You laugh about whatever. You're going overboard with whatever, you laugh about it.
Do you have any personal rituals that you prepare for when you're going to an audition that you do before you're going into an audition?
My rituals are daily. I meditate every morning. Um, I try not to work out before going to an audition because after I work out, I'm dead. I'm just tired. Um, and I think probably music, just to be grounded as Gary, music, not to think so much about whatever the audition is going to be, because whenever you go to the audition, whatever happens is going to happen. Um, if you do your homework, then you should feel a bit more comfortable. I think homework always keeps you, I think the homework would always keep you confident when going into an audition. If anything changes, then it just changes. I mean, when you're working, when you're actually working on set, whatever, things change in a second. So it's life is like that. No, life is just full of changes in any moments. I'm just expecting any change, and I'm okay. I'm okay with it.
What do you think is the most important aspect of a good performance?
The most important aspect is, um, yeah, this is a funny question because you always have to be in the moment or what have you, and that term is thrown around loosely, kind of, but to really understand what in the moment means, that's why I said I always try to keep it as real as possible, like what would really happen in this situation in real life. And I think just paying attention to whoever your scene partner is. Small things that that could take the scene. So it's magic always. It's always magic because any small thing that they do can take. If you thought it was this way, it's gonna go a completely different way. So just being in tune with whoever you're doing the scene with, or uh, the realism of it all. For me, once I hear action, it's just real. There's nothing else. It's just real.
Give us a time you've had to take a role that was completely out of your comfort zone.
Oh wow! I did a character by the name of Patrick. Um, it was on Here TV, and he was a gay character. Okay, no big deal. But he was a gay character that had to be completely nude on set while everybody else was dressed. So I was like, "You want the challenge? Here goes the challenge." So yeah, that was. But these things, of course, they build you as an artist, as an actor.
And that definitely has your family seen the film, The Project? What was their reaction? I'm just baffled.
No, yeah, no, 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 they did not. I mean, I have spoken to them about it, but no, they haven't seen it. It's no, they have not.
Give us a time you had to overcome a challenge on set.
Uh, I remember I was doing a commercial for Domino's, and and commercials are kind of tricky because it's more about placing of product, and you have to have a good angle for the camera and what have you, and I could not get the pizza in the right angle, and I don't know what happened. I just had a breakdown. I just went in the bathroom. I was like, okay, all right, stop tripping. You can overcome this. You can overcome this. And just talk to myself. And it was just certain times when you're on set. If you can't get past these certain obstacle, it just you feel in your mind. You feel like everybody's just looking at you, going, "Come on, hey, let's get it together. Come on, what's going on?" And you're like, you feel a certain type of pressure. Mind you, I was in my 20s. I was in my early 20s when this happened. But I never forgot that. I never forgot that. And moving forward, it kind of, anytime anything like that happens, I just breathe and it's okay. It's gonna be okay. You may feel like everybody's looking at you, but it's not the case. It's just you and your own internal story.
And I think you're a Gemini, right?
I
June
am a
6th.
Gemini.
And I'm a
Yes.
Scorpio. That's the thing with us. We sit there and we're thinking that everybody else is seeing us, but it's just like, okay, you're in your head, you're in that moment. So I completely understand with that.
I think for the most part, most of us are like that. People think that, oh, this person's watching me, this person is, and it's not. It's just not true. It is not true. When
It's
you're performing, when you're performing, it tends to be worse because you know that there's silence and everything's on you. So they are watching you, but you're not being judged as much as you're probably judging yourself. So that's a huge obstacle to overcome.
Now, this is a fashion and a beauty platform, and I think it was either you or my guest that I had on yesterday, Roger, when we were setting up the interview. I said, you got to drop the skincare regime. So what is some of your grooming routines? Because when I introduced you, I said, he is fine, he is gorgeous, he is all of that. We need to know the routine. What is your skincare routine?
I don't have one. Cold water before anything. Even if I'm about to take a shower, it's still cold water. Cold water. I don't know if it's cold water that opens the pores or closes the pores. But that's the first thing I do in the morning. I get up, cold water on my face. And throughout the day, this is funny because a lot of people are like, yo, why do you have that rag in your back pocket? As our skin is very, very oily, secretes a lot of oil,
Yeah.
which is really good for the elasticity, but I allow it to do what it has to do, and then I just take a rag and you can catch me all day long with a rag, just wiping my face. That's about it. It's not anything that's even conscious. It just happens.
Your skin is just naturally flawless. Like it's just sitting there, beautiful.
Thank you.
So he's got to have a skincare regime because there is no way. Most men would go with the beard oils. Most men that I've interviewed in the past, they go with their beard oils, their cleansing agents, and so many other things to make sure that their skin is intact.
Well, with
Now, with the beauty,
the beard oil, of course. I use the oil and I use a different cream for the beard. That's something completely different. But for the skin,
just cool water. It closes the pores. That's what it does. It closes.
Okay, so I guess when I'm sleeping, they're open and they're just taking in a bunch of stuff in the morning. I just shut it off, right? That's basically all I do.
And there you have it. That is the secret. Now, grooming. How often do you keep your beard trimmed?
Oh my goodness.
Because I'm pretty sure that is the beard oils as well too.
The beard trimming, I would say probably once a week. Sometimes I like to just let it grow, just bushy, just like I don't care. But over here in Spain, I'm pretty busy with auditions and whatnot. So it could be at least, it's normally once a week, but it could be twice a week. It depends. It varies. It depends if I feel it, if I don't.
And speaking of which, you said once a week. Balance. You're also a dad as well too. So almost all the men that I've interviewed this week are daddies.
Yeah.
So how do you find the balance of being on set away from your children? Because I know it's difficult with us being in this entertainment business. You're away from family. You're always on the road. And what I'm so thankful for is that this pandemic allowed us to be closer to our loved ones, be able to reach out with them. We're thankful that we're connecting with them, whether it's FaceTime, Zoom, or whatever. People have become so creative when it comes to communicating with their families. How do you find the balance of being a dad?
Well, at this point, my kids are grown. My oldest is 31. My son is 26. And my youngest is 13. And of course, all in separate places. My son is in Madrid. He's the one that I watch the most. My daughter is married and she has a 2-year-old, so I'm a grandfather. And then my youngest is 13, so she just started middle school, I guess, in junior high school. I don't know if it's high school now. I think it's high school now. Um, and with her, I keep in touch with her mom more than anything else. She's doing her thing. My daughter, my eldest daughter, I keep in touch with her as much as possible. She's very busy raising my grandson, and um, and my son. Yeah, that's my ace. You know, I have him under my wing. At 26, it doesn't matter. I remember being 26, and so I know exactly where he's at, and I'm just there as his guide. Even when he was young, I was still there as his guide. I try to influence him with whatever, whether it be playing drums or whether it be, you know, okay, military, whatever it is, acting, anything. My son, because he's always been kind of dispersed, you know, he's always been kind of, he hasn't really been like focused. So my son has been, you know, more than any of my kids, my son has been like the project, you know what I mean? And I, you know, keeping in touch with them is if I'm not in touch with the mom, I'm in touch with them directly, you know, so.
Yeah. So what, and I'm pretty sure a lot of parents that are watching this interview, when the pandemic hit, we had to help the children with their homework. What is doing homework with them? Because I'd like to know.
My kids are grown. I don't know about, I don't know.
The 13-year-old, the 13-year-old. Yeah.
Pardon? The 13. Well, her mom, no, her brother, um, he'd help her with her homework. Her mom as well. I mean, of course, she always tells me, she's like, look, there's some of the way math and all this other stuff is changed, and the way the techniques they use nowadays is like, that's not how we did it. So her mom has more of that, you know, she has more of that task. Of course, they are in Las Vegas. The youngest one is in Vegas. I'm all the way in Spain. Time difference is like 9 hours. So you haven't had to do any homework in the past few years. It's been it's been a while since the only homework I've had to do is, you know, is me breaking down characters and you know, and trying to hit it in an audition or on set. That's it.
How do you stay centered and grounded? Because we follow your Instagram and it's just full of positivity and encouragement. You talk a lot about your children and what they mean to you, as well as encouraging people to live healthy. How do you stay so centered?
Um, you know, I'll tell you the whole taking on the whole acting journey. In the beginning, it wasn't so much about acting as much as it was a spiritual journey. If it's like if I wanted to manifest anything, I think it had to come from within first. As everything was within. As I'm learning, I don't know what this is about till I get older. I do a lot of. I meditate quite a lot. I meditate quite a lot, and I try to remain as present as possible. Think about where I come from to where I am right now. You know, prayer works, meditation works. I've always just had this, you know, we always feel like, I hate to be on a from an egotistical sense, but it's like you feel like you know what you are. I know what I am. I know where I'm going. I know, you know, I always had this thing about, if I wonder if people are seeing the world exactly how I'm seeing it, you know, like the way I see it. So I've always felt like special, you know, I've always felt special within myself. And I've always felt like there was something there with me. There was something guiding me. And getting older, you know, you learn to connect with that thing that is actually there guiding you, that little voice inside of your head, if I may. So I think is a close personal relationship with what you may call God or source or the universe or everything that's happening right now, just the now, you know? Yeah, no, I mean, spiritual journey is the most important part in anything that I've done. More so this whole acting journey. It's been you know, a lot of internal work, and naturally working as an actor with characters, you're gonna do a lot of internal work anyhow. So, you know, I think everything kind of just connects. Everything comes together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So my next question for you is, what is one of the most valuable lessons that you've learned, you know, just in life in general?
The most valuable lesson, uh, time is short. Time is just a blink of an eye, and enjoy every millisecond. Not every second, every millisecond. Just enjoy as much. And it's natural, you're human, so you're gonna get thrown off. You have those up and down days. But to just enjoy. If you have close people, if whoever's had people that are close to them pass away, uh, you know, I think that teaches you quite a lot. And having grown up how I grew up in LA um, during the 80s, what was going on around me,
Yeah.
um, it really makes you, it makes you definitely go in and appreciate life a lot more and, you know, be grateful that I'm still here, actually. I didn't think I was going to live to be 18 years old, when I was growing up. And now I'm 50. So it's like, I'm beyond grateful, you know.
If life comes experience and you learn as you grow. And that's what my mom's told me throughout the years as well, too, growing up.
Absolutely.
So we talk a lot about legacy. What would you like to be remembered for and your legacy throughout your
Um, wow, that is a really good question because I never thought about that because I'm going to be here forever. Legacy. I think just, nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. Um, you are the creator, and I definitely want to. I think I just read something that Deion Sanders posted about that mountain was put in front of you so you can show others that you can move it. You know, um, yeah, for me, nothing is impossible. Yeah, definitely nothing is impossible at all.
I want to give a shout out to Warrior Dreams Cosmetics. Make sure you guys go and check her out. Black owned cosmetic company, everything from beauty to body care. Make sure you guys go and check her out. All right, fashion dolls, it is about time to get into our games here with Gary. All right. So we're going to do the rapid five and then we're going to turn those tables. And turn the tables is when my guests get to ask me questions, as many as they want to. It can be anything on family, fashion, beauty, uh, passion, goals, dreams, whatever they want to know about me. For the new viewers out there, you get to know through Gary's questioning. All right. So we're going to start off with the rapid five. Now, in the rapid five, Gary has to tell us five things that he can't live without. And it can be his family, it can be his favorite drink, his favorite football team, whatever he wants. So take it away, Gary.
The five things I cannot live without. Number one, my drums.
Okay.
Uh, Frosted Flakes. um, uh, the ocean nearby. Um, I'm doing it, but family and my television to watch my films.
All right. There you go. And yes, she also has beard care as well too. So
I
make
just
sure you
love
guys
that.
go and check out Warriors Dream Cosmetics, Black owned businesses. We all about supporting Black owned businesses here on my platform. So y'all make sure y'all head on over and check her out and follow her. All right. It is time to turn those tables. My heart is beating so fast. I always get nervous because I'm being put in the hot seat.
Okay.
I'm always the one that's interviewing the guests, but there's no telling what he's going to ask me. All right. So take it away,
I'm,
Gary.
I'm sure you probably had the question before, so don't, slow down the pace of the heart. Um, I see you're much of a fashionista. Have you, or are you thinking about designing your own line of clothing?
You know what? I do fashion illustration, but I would love to design my own brand of clothing. And the type of fashions that I would wear on the show is probably primarily 9 times out of 10 of what you guys would see in this collection because I would put all of my personality into it. Like I like to be crazy, I like to be sexy, I like to be casual, I like to be feminine, I like to be modest, I like to be adventurous. I love to step outside of my comfort zones. And one thing I'm known for is being very bold. I have it's six of us. I have siblings. I have brothers and sisters. So the one who was the most outspoken out of all of the bunch would have definitely been, yeah. My mom was just like, "What are we gonna do with this child right here?"
So you're the black
Coming
sheep,
out,
the black sheep,
yeah,
just like I was in the family, and still am, I think. But the black sheep, right?
yes, the black sheep for sure. And I I would have to say this line would definitely represent me because I'm always known for pushing the envelope. Like when I first started this platform, I would always be suited up. Now you're seeing me show skin. You're seeing me take risks with a thigh high slit. I would never in a million years see myself wearing some of these looks, but I'm just like, whatever it is for fashion, because I read a lot of Vogue magazine and I watch New York Fashion Week and a lot of fashion shows. So I always try to be ahead of what's on trend on curve. And if I was to name the clothing, because I'm pretty sure you're gonna ask me that, it would probably be ladylike because I believe that everything should be done
Right
effortlessly.
on.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Warrior Dreams and Cosmetics says great five. As many as you want, as many questions as you want.
Wait for me to Warriors
To
Dreams.
ask, yeah, to ask
Okay, I
you.
got five. Okay, five. Um. Okay, so since I don't know much about your background, how long have you been doing the show?
I started Style by Stevie right after high school, believe it or
Oh,
not.
okay.
And at the time I was going to beauty school. That's one thing people don't know about me is that I went to beauty school. I took cosmetology. I've always wanted to do hair. And I went and I took the test. I didn't do so well the first time because there's the practical and there's the theory, where it's like the hands-on part, and then you're in this room. It's like these cubicles, and you take the test on the computer. So I studied all the way there and passed the second time, the second try. And before you know it, I got my license, my cosmetology license. And I remember the lady, she was printing out because you have to sit there. When you come out, there's like the monitor, the moderator outside of the room when you take your cosmetology exam. And she's printing off the scores and it said pass at the bottom. And I said, oh my God, yes. She said, you passed. And I remember going back. This is the second time going back. She said, you passed. And I said, can I scream? She said, no, no, you can't. I said, well, thank you. And I hugged her. And I remember almost tripping on the third flight of stairs going down.
So
To
excited.
when I got outside and I hit outside, I screamed so loud and I hugged my cosmetology instructor. But the other girl, the other young lady that was going with, she didn't do so well. So I had to give her the pep talk. And then luckily she was my friend. So that was my girl. But she's still doing here. And shout outs to her 100%. But that was one of the pivotal moments. And then after that, I said, okay, what are we going to do? I worked in a hair salon and that didn't work out so well. So I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and do my own thing. And that's how Style by Stevie was formed right after high school. Before it was called Weekday Topics, I really didn't have a name for it because we would always do it at 11 o'clock every day on the dot. And I would just talk about celebrities and pop culture. But I said, we got to have a name for it. So I said, nope, not Weekdays Topics, Style by Stevie. And I combine all of the things that I know people love, like fashion, like beauty, like food, like actors, music, all of these things. So that's kind of how Style by Stevie was formed. We've been doing this since 2014. Yeah.
Wow. Well, congratulations. It's still going strong. So congratulations to you on that. Um, and I was, of course, what are we at, number three? You're here. You do your own hair.
Oh, oh my God. Yeah. Stop it, Gary. Stop it.
I was like, okay, she
Um,
said something about hair,
yeah,
hair. I was like, okay, someone's there doing her hair. So I was like, okay, well, it's going to take a moment before we
I
come
do.
on. If you do your
I
own
do
hair.
curl my own units. I curl my own units and style them. And I also do my mom's hair as well too. But the thing is getting her into wearing makeup. She sees me wear the makeup and she's like, oh my God, how does it look good on you like that? But we both look the same. I said, you can look like this if you let me do your makeup. So she's not going to sit through a whole process. But me, I don't mind. I love being pampered.
Okay. All right. And this is just out of my curiosity sake, because I didn't do much homework on you. Where are you broadcasting from?
I am in South Carolina. I'm in the Carolinas. And what's so crazy is that Chat you've mentioned, I think it was yesterday, Roger mentioned Chadwick Boseman. I think he was from South Carolina, and
Oh,
Viola
okay.
Davis. So a lot of talent is booming down here.
Is that right?
So yeah.
Okay. And the last question for you is going to be, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Where do I see myself in 5 years? I see myself with my own network, and Oprah, I hats off to her. If I ever meet her one day, hats off and salute to her because she was the first black. No, actually, it was Della Reese. Della Reese was the first
Oh,
black
I said
woman
it.
to have her own national television, and then it was Oprah in what 1988,
Yeah.
and then you have Ricky Lake and so many other women that have followed. These women were the hold the torch for me to be where I'm at right here. So I would love to have my own network like Oprah. But what I would do with it is I would give black filmmakers, black producers, black actors, talent, musicians, an opportunity to all be under that network
Oh,
right there.
okay. Okay. What you doing? Well, keep at it. And we hope to see you there. Hope to see you there.
Definitely. Jay Evans says hair is always. Oh, y'all, yeah. I
It's
I'm a
always off.
chameleon. I'm a chameleon. I don't stay the same. So some people will be like, "Oh my God, her hair was just blonde yesterday," and then the next day I'll have green hair. So it's always a shock value with me. You never know what you're gonna get. That's what us Scorpios. We're a mystery. We don't let everyone know
Keep it
our first
interesting.
move.
Keep it interesting all the time.
All right, fashion dolls. That is Gary's turn the table segments with me, and I hope you guys got to know a little bit more about me through his questioning. My last question for you is, if you could go back in time and you could tell your younger self something, what would you tell the younger Gary?
Uh, to be patient.
Mm,
Just to be patient.
yeah.
That's it. I mean, with patience, everything else just starts to just fall into place. So,
On God's divine timing, and to add on to that is I do vision boards. I love to create things out and plan ahead. And you got a question from Jay Evans. Shout outs to Jay Evans, the host of the Jay Evans Talk Show. Um, he wants to know what would be your dream role?
my dream role. Wow. Um, uh, a Bumpy Johnson type role. I've always been fascinated with gangster films, mafia, not loose street gangster, not like wild organized crime. So I guess I'd probably say an organized crime boss.
Mm, I can see that. Definitely. Any other questions for myself or Gary Fashion Dolls? This was such a great interview. I had such an amazing time. And throughout this week, it's What a Man Week. I've had the pleasure of interviewing all these amazingly talented black men, and just watching them excel in their careers is everything. So it was an honor to have you a part of this lineup.
Thank you
Truly.
for having me on. I mean, thank you for even finding me. It was all a surprise to me. I was like, huh, what, where? But thank you for having me on. Absolutely.
Do we have any other questions for myself or Gary? With the year being halfway out, what is in store for Gary in the year of 2020?
What? I didn't hear the question.
I said, what are you manifesting for the year of 2024?
I think every actor's gonna say the same thing, but it's just to just continue working, continue working, continue learning, continue growing. Much clarity, lots of clarity, and growth. That's it. I mean, we're here for that. That's what we came for, right? We came here to evolve and to grow. So
Oh, yeah.
it never ends, and it's going to happen naturally. It's almost, it's inevitable. But um, that leap, just a huge leap, uh, maturity, much more mature. Yeah, I'm 50, but nah, maturity, it's a never-ending thing. We never end. We never stop learning. And that maturity it carries off into your work. So yeah.
Evan says Godfather of Harlem. I could see him doing that. Me too. I was just about to say
Oh
that.
man, that is, and it's been hard for me to keep up with a lot of shows. Being over here, being in Spain, and of course, how I get stuff, um, and I didn't get to finish watching Godfather of Harlem, but I'm just, matter of fact, I'm just now catching up with it's just like with season 1 of Snowfall, you know.
It's
Um,
funny you say that because I've interviewed Eamon Joseph, who plays Jerome Saint on Snowfall.
this
Yes.
is but since I'm so out of whack with a lot of shows. There's so many different shows. I started Top Boy maybe like 2 weeks ago as well, which is the same. It's on the same level, but over in the UK. Uh, amazing show. But yeah, Godfather of Harlem. Yes, thank you. Let me just keep that in mind and make that manifest. Thank you.
And it's going to come into fruition. Sometimes I write my stuff down on a piece of paper or I will write it on my mirror with my lipstick and I'll be like, okay, this is going to happen. So I'm always praying, hoping, and manifesting that things come into fruition for me.
Yeah, I got my vision board as well, so I'm with you on that one.
All right, fashion dolls. Gary, before we let you go, we always give the word of the day, and then I'm going to let Gary drop some gems as well. Two fashion dolls. The word of the day comes from one of my favorite singers, Janet Jackson, and she says, "In complete darkness, we are all the same. It is only our knowledge and wisdom that separates us. Don't let your eyes deceive you." And that comes
Mhm.
from, remember that, fashion dolls. So individuality is key, and stay true to yourself. In order to have longevity in this business, you have to remain true and original to who you are. And I tell people that all the time. I've had to make a few changes with my delivery, and even when it came to talking on certain topics on this show, it's just like people just like, "Ooh, your delivery is a little bit harsh." But I had to go back and watch my interviews for myself to see what people were saying. And once you make that change, it is a very, very beautiful thing. So I'm thankful for the ones that are behind me in my corner. It takes, like Gary said in the what was it, Gary, or I think it was Roger yesterday. Roger said it takes a village.
Mm.
So it takes a village behind you to support and keep you going. And I'm thankful for my mom and K Tukes and Jay Evans and Island Yankee and my best friend Felicia. I just got through talking to her on the phone. And my mentor, Miss Melody, and my beauty contributor and makeup artist here at Styled, Melanie. I'm thankful for those people who are behind me in my corner 100%. Always checking to make sure that I'm all right. Even some of the guests that I've interviewed will message me and text me and say, "Hey girl, how you doing? How's everything?" So you keep those people in your corner. Stay surrounded and grounded by people who uplift you. And I'm going to pass it on down to Gary and let him drop some gems.
Okay, so I think I'm doing the same as you did, and the quote that has been with me for the past years from Dr. Wayne Dyer, and it's basically, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. It's all everything's right in here. Everything's just in your mind, and all these different distractions they'll start to shift. You start to believe things that aren't what you think they are, and as soon as you believe that, what you start looking at is going to actually mirror that. But you can change the way you're thinking about that. It's going to mirror something something completely different. So yeah, the world is a mirror, and keep your thoughts positive. Keep your thoughts positive. Be kind. You'll have kindness come right back to you. Yeah. That's it.
All right, fashion dolls. There we have it with our very special guest today, Gary. And Gary, let everyone know where they can follow you and check out your projects.
Uh, yeah, on imdb.com. And here on Instagram, I post here and there. I like to post things in the story more than anything else because my wall is, I don't know, it's kind of special to me. So, but yeah, just follow me here on Instagram, and you can check stuff on imdb.com. Gary Anthony Stennette with 2 N's and 2 T's.
All right, fashion dolls. There you have it. make sure you guys go and follow Gary Anthony Stennette. Joining me tomorrow, we are concluding What a Man Week with our very own Marcos Luis, who is the host of One Mic Night podcast. He will be joining me tomorrow, kicking off the 1st of September. I'm super excited that I got to sit with all of these amazing Black men this week. And Gary, it was such a pleasure meeting you. I had a great time.
Same here. Thank you very much for having me on, Stevie.
You are so welcome. Definitely would love to have you again in the future.
You know where to find me.
All right. Take care, everyone. And we will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is TGIF Finally Friday. Marcos Luis joins me. I love you all, and I will see you tomorrow. The replay will be up, and the road to 500 interviews continues. This makes interview 498. So thank you guys so much for your love and unconditional support. And this interview will be up on Style by Stevie Daytime. So head on over and subscribe and hit that bell on YouTube so you'll be notified when I drop the new interviews. All right? Take care, everyone.